All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take Sharp and Shapiro. A quick reminder, following up the rest of the week, we got the guys from the show, Wow, the Vegas Spectacular. They'll be coming in studio on Friday. We're going to talk a little Raiders tomorrow. I'll have a beat writer on for that. Mike Babcock from TMZ Sports tomorrow. Also, Bernie Fratto, nationally syndicated talk show host, will be actually living here in Vegas, so he'll be previewing UNLV football. The season starts Saturday against the Division I powerhouse Southern Utah. So that'll be coming up on Saturday. And I know Mr. Schaefer is a huge D1 football fan, not a Southern Utah fan, though, from what I've heard. Isn't that true, John? Well,
Absolutely true. I'm with UNLV if it's over Southern Utah.
Yes.
Of course, Penn State is opening against powerhouse Idaho.
Oh, what's the spread in that game, JD? Like 40?
45?
I honestly have no idea.
Yeah, that's a game.
I know that James Franklin has not been.
I'll tell you one thing.
News for the best reasons.
I'll tell you one thing. If Penn State finds a way for the biggest upset all year for them to lose that game, Schaefer's going to roll in on Monday in a very, very bad mood. I can promise you that.
That's a
right
guarantee.
now.
Yeah, yes. Monday's a holiday. I won't be rolling in no matter what happens in football on Saturday.
True. That's right. I forgot we're not doing our show Monday because of the holiday weekend. Well, that's a good thing. Well, Mr. Schaefer's in studio and delivering us the news. Mr. Schaefer, what's going on, my man?
Well, July was good for casinos in Nevada. State regulators say house winnings topped $1 billion again for the fourth time in 7 months this year. Nevada Gaming Control Board reported today statewide gaming win in July was up 2.9% compared with the same month last year. State reported taking in $73.9 million in percentage fees on those figures. That's up 32.5% from a year ago. House winnings on increased slot machine play contributed to a 4.4% year-to-year statewide casino win increase last month. Vegas Strip properties reported a 1.6% increase in overall winnings.
I can tell you right now, I am certainly a part of that in the last several months, whether it's a 7-Eleven slot machine, a gas station slot machine, playing craps or blackjack. I absolutely contribute to that, so these casinos should be thanking me, and they do, because they give me free slot play and free comp.
And that's very nice, and I can tell you that the economy has a lot to do with that as well.
Okay, well, I don't want to get into that. Well, that's another discussion for another day. Go ahead, John.
Keep playing because you can win it all back. That's the best part of gambling. Keep going.
Maybe win a burger.
Teachers Union and the Clark County School District are going to sit down at the bargaining table again today to try and reach a contract deal and avoid a threatened strike September 10th. The meeting will also be attended by representatives from the Federal Mediation and Conciliation Service. Union announced that it had agreed to mediation, but only because it was offered with no conditions. School District also expressed hope in a news release yesterday that an agreement could be reached in mediation to avert the strike.
I'm going to tell you right now, if I was guaranteed a 3% raise on a yearly basis, I didn't get it, I probably wouldn't be too happy. I'd probably go on strike as well. That's all I'm going to say in regards to that.
Well,
that's all I'm going to say.
Especially if I paid for classes to guarantee myself that raise, and the person that promised me that raise is keeping my money and not giving me that raise.
You know what? We're not going to give you the raise, but we'll let the superintendent of schools be allowed to buy a bicycle, give him a car, give him anything he wants. But for a teacher that's making between $35,000 and $50,000 a year,
that's beginner. It's beginner.
Yeah. Go ahead, John.
We are one step closer to having that high-speed train that will take us between Las Vegas and Southern California. Yesterday, city and economic leaders at the Nevada Economic Development Conference talked about the railroad service that will connect more than 22 million people. Virgin Trains USA says it's ready to move forward with the plan because their current routes in Florida have been successful, and that will give them a model to follow. They're looking to start construction next year. That should take 3 years and will connect Las Vegas to Victorville. The travel time between the two cities will be cut to 75 minutes.
Oh, that's good, because we definitely need more construction in Vegas. We certainly don't have enough of that. I'm outside the studios here, and there's people hammering away at like 11 o'clock at night. It's ridiculous.
I'm ready for it because the interstate can be very, very dangerous, and a lot of accidents take place every year.
Well, that is true, and I think that also has to do with the fact that people have no idea how to effing drive in Las Vegas. That's just my opinion.
Well, there's that. Details. It wasn't the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man or the Pillsbury Doughboy, but what the statue at the entrance to the SLS Las Vegas is now is gone. It was taken down last night and headed for the trash heap as part of the resort's rebranding as the Sahara Las Vegas. They shot off fireworks, had flames at the base of the statue before a front-end loader ripped it off its perch. The SLS will become the Sahara tomorrow.
So they were the Sahara.
Yes.
It failed business-wise. They changed it to the SLS. That doesn't work. So the next, who is the person who thought that up? Do we have any sponsors over there, by the way, John?
That is Alex Marullo, who just bought it. I think it's actually a good move. And the SLS, you know what SLS stood for?
What?
Some Like Social. That means absolutely nothing. Vegas is it's a theme city. You have to have a theme. This will do well.
I just think that area, I'm not blaming anyone, that is a doomed area. It's just not high volume like it would be in some other areas on the Strip. That's just my opinion.
But it is going to be developed very soon.
Yeah, well, look, they got some good restaurants.
They're cleaning
over
it
there.
up.
Yeah, as long as more things get finished up there, then
Right,
you'll
like-
be able to get from point A to point
Like-
B. But no one's going to walk beyond the Encore to continue walking all the way to the Stratosphere.
I did stay in one of their hotel rooms. I felt like I was in a jail cell there once. It was very tiny, and the security guards were wearing shirts that looked like picnic tables. I was confused.
Cleo's is great.
Cleo is a very good
They
restaurant.
have great burgers next to the sports book. They have very
is.
good food there.
It is. Well, listen. I root for every casino
Yeah.
to succeed. There's no question about it. I want it to succeed.
Are you sure?
Of course. Why would I have a problem with? No. I mean, it's not Trump Casino. I'm not, but no. And, listen, Sheldon Adelson is the biggest Republican you could ever find. I root for Sheldon's casinos to do well. You know why? Because I like his casinos. They're fun to go to. I think he does a good job. So that's really all I care about. And as a local here in Las Vegas, you want all these casinos to do well, right? You want the tourists to spend a lot of money and come back. That's what makes Vegas great.
I'll tell you this.
Pumping money into
Sheldon
the city.
Adelson prevents me from going to a different state and wagering here in Vegas. But you know what? If he died, I wouldn't celebrate his death.
Oh, you're going back to Bill Maher again. I knew
I'm
you
on
would
your
do that.
side there. I agree with that.
There you go. All right. Mr. Schaefer, thank you as always, my friend. We hope Penn State wins that really tough game over the weekend. It's going to be a tough one, man.
We got to get that lion
Idaho's
roar
a-
in the background.
I got it in my office.
If Idaho played Southern Utah, I tell you what, I think Idaho wins. I think Idaho has a better program than Southern Utah. I'll give them that
Southern
much.
Utah was 1-9 last year.
They were really bad.
That's not
last
very
year.
good.
Really bad. After coming
Idaho's
off,
pretty good on every.
they're not horrible.
Well,
Well,
and it's a tough place to play when they're at home.
Don't worry, John. We don't want to ruin his weekend. Let him enjoy the game in peace. I think his team will be just fine.
Yeah.
I think they'll be
And
okay.
we always play all our preseason games against teams like that in state college. That's
Right, of course.
how you win.
All right, John, thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks
Really
a lot, John.
appreciate it. Want to take your phone calls as well, 702-257-5396. The GCI guys hotline is 702-257-5396. Let's go to Carl. Carl, you've been waiting patiently on hold. What's going on?
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Good, man.
Listen, you asked Mr. Avenatti before. I've talked to you before. You've asked Mr. Avenatti, and I talked to him, I think, when he was on a while back, about what if there's a debate between whoever runs against Trump. I'm going to tell you right now, there's not going to be much of a debate. There's an entity called Deutsche Bank. And I happen to have I think I mentioned before, some close sources with the government in the State Department, their relatives. And I've learned that here's what's going to be used against him. It's going to completely destroy him. No bank in the world will give him a loan. He got a couple $100 million or so from Deutsche Bank. He screwed Deutsche Bank before, too. The money was co-signed by Russian oligarchs.
Wait, are you saying Donald Trump is a scam artist? That can't be true. No, it can't be true. I thought his university was so legit. I thought all of his golf courses and all of his businesses were running so well. He's never filed for bankruptcy. Oh, wait a second. Oh, wait.
Well, yeah, I graduated with honors from his university. I got news for you.
Hey, it's definitely worth $30,000 to get a picture from his cardboard cutout. Carl, I appreciate the call. We got to get to some other news of the day, but thank you for the call. Appreciate that. So we all know who Pete Davidson is, right? He's a talented guy. He's young. He's a I'm not going to say up and coming. The guy's at the top of his game. He's on SNL. He's a talented guy. I do think he is extremely funny. There's no question about that. So, he's been on MTV's Guy Code and Wild and Out. Anyway, he did some stand-up comedy the other day. And I got to tell you, he absolutely, positively, 100% lost his mind. This guy is on, he does stand-up comedy everywhere. He makes a lot of money. But I want to play a little bit of this audio for you because there are a bunch of F-bombs in there. And like I said, he lost his mind a little bit. So I want to play it for you, and then I want you guys to react to this. Pete Davidson, who is a little crazy. I wouldn't say he's the most stable person in the world. So this is Pete Davidson on a stage doing some stand-up, going nuts.
Whenever somebody else comes to your town and wants to perform and is exhausted and flies all the way to the middle of nowhere to do jokes, you little privileged little don't ruin the show for people who actually want to be here. That's the problem. No, don't clap either. It's because like half of you did it. That's what's up about our generation. They're like, yeah. It's like, wait, you were the one filming, moron. That's why we're embarrassing. That's why the world is going to end in 25 years. Because you're all retarded. Yeah, I meant it that way, idiots. You should grow up, okay?
Okay, first of all, as you can hear towards the end of that, Pete, nobody's really laughing anymore. He's insulting the entire crowd. It's okay to insult people, but he did it in spite. He was not trying to be funny.
He was clearly very angry.
And why? Because he's angry because half the people in the crowd are trying to record his stand-up routine. I mean, we live in a day and age where we have cell phones. He's getting paid a lot of money to do stand-up comedy.
How did he get famous? He got famous off YouTube.
Of course. I think
which is predicated from the same concept. It's total hypocrisy.
I think he's a complete moron.
He's an absolute idiot. And he's a giant prick. And remember, there was a hip-hop artist named Mac Miller. Mac Miller died last year from a fentanyl overdose. But he was very, very closely dating Ariana Grande for 3 years. Ariana Grande dumped him for Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson was sending Mac Miller naked pictures of Ariana Grande and talking crap to him in the process.
Because he's a jerk.
He's an absolute scumbag.
He's a jerk. I'll be honest with you. I never found the guy funny at all.
No, some of his skits are funny. I will admit that.
He looks deathly ill.
He
always looks sick.
He has a I can't think of what the condition is, but he has an actual condition.
He does not look healthy.
No, he isn't healthy.
Yeah, okay. Well, he's not healthy. All right, we'll take some more phone calls. 257-5396 is the number to call. Again, if you want to be a part of the program, 702-257-5396 is the number to call.
Last week, by the way, on the homeless segment, I have to say the best question you've ever asked anybody. So you guys gamble, sooner or later you'd win. I almost wet my pants. I almost pulled off the road. I mean, really, 15 years living homeless, and you're asking a guy about gambling. And did you win any money?
I was thinking to myself, it would make sense if you have no expenses and you go panhandle and you make $40 or $50 a day, and you take that money and you gamble with it. Eventually, you're going to hit something huge.
For people that have no idea what you guys are talking about, we had a person who used to be homeless in the Clark County School District who now works for an organization helping homeless people, and JD asked him, did you ever panhandling, making $20 or $30? Did you ever use that money every day and play slot machines? That's what they're referring to. We did an interview last week about that, and it was quite interesting. Check it out on Twitter, on our YouTube page, The Vegas Take.
Best interview ever.
I appreciate that.
That was a great segment.
Thank you. Let's take some phone calls at 257-5396. Let's go to Brady. Brady, what's going on?
What's up, Brady?
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
I want to bring up, you were talking about that Pete Davidson.
Yes.
And that's that same guy who's on Saturday Night Live, and he mocked that Republican senator or whatever that guy was with one eye.
With the eye patch, yeah.
I thought he should have been fired that on the spot. But again, people on the left, they cheer for people like that because they're bashing the Republicans. They get away with anything. They can call Donald Trump orange. They can call him a racist.
What's wrong with calling
orange is fine, but mocking a war veteran who lost an eye is not fine. I totally agree with you.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, Brady. And by the way, I don't think there's anything wrong with calling somebody orange because, red is red, orange is orange, pink is pink. But Brady, let me ask you a question. I get where you're coming from. You're angry about Pete Davidson making fun of a Republican with a patched eye. Let me ask you this. Were you angry at Donald Trump for making fun of John McCain and his war service?
Don't go with McCain with me because
I just did. Answer the question. Answer the question. You have zero credibility if you don't answer the question.
Brady, it's your time to shine, so shine.
Nail him.
Be honest.
Nail him, Brady.
Now you're going to bash John McCain, too. Don't even start, Brady. Answer the question, regardless of what you think of John McCain. Okay, Donald Trump. John McCain did not. John McCain was a war hero. If you want to debate his record, that's fine. But Donald Trump attacked John McCain and said he didn't respect him because he was captured. Do you condone that type of stuff?
And John McCain attacked him first.
Not on policy. Completely, utterly ridiculous. It was on policy.
Let me say one thing. I don't think anybody, every person that served in the military that's been captured, that automatically makes him a war hero. John McCain's record in the military is absolutely pretty horrible if you look at it.
So you're okay with it then? You're defending Donald Trump going after John McCain because he was captured serving this country. You're on the record once again saying you're okay with another idiotic, horrendous thing that Donald Trump said, but you call into the show because you're angry about a comedian, Pete Davidson.
Well, here's the problem with Pete Davidson. He is leveraging this guy. He doesn't know this guy. This guy didn't go after Pete Davidson. He is using the fact that he lost an eye to get laughs. It is cheap
I'm not
content. It is crap comedy, just like what Bill Maher did to David Cook.
But you know what the difference is? They're comedians, and Donald Trump's the president of the United States. Brady, so again, I'll ask you one more time. You're defending Donald Trump going after John McCain.
Yes, because McCain was terrible.
So in your eyes, McCain was quote-unquote terrible, so you're okay with the president of the United States going after a person who served this country because he was captured. Are you on the record in saying that? Because I cannot believe it.
In my book. Any person that gets captured doesn't make them a hero.
Well, guess what? Guess what the opposite of a hero is? What your hero, Donald Trump, did when he said he had bone spurs and dodged the military. I don't hear you criticizing Trump about that, are you?
That's a different subject.
No, it's not. It's the same subject. You're going after John McCain, who served the country honorably. You got someone who's a coward, who's the president of the United States, who said he had bone spurs, and it's been verified he never had bone spurs. It was a lie, and he's a coward, and he dodged the military. And now, with all due respect, you're being a coward on the air. Admit it. The president is a coward, and you are way on the right, and you're biased. Admit it.
Put it this way, you're jealous of the president because he's such a successful president. You can't handle.
Yeah, that's right. Let me tell you something, my friend. Let me tell you something. That's the dumbest thing you could ever say, because when the president was elected into office, I said there's nobody that would root for him more than me. I want the president to succeed, and I still want the president to succeed. You know why? Because if he succeeds, the country succeeds. But just because you're succeeding with economics, and by the way, I wouldn't make that argument right now, but just because you succeed doesn't mean you have to do it and not honorably, and you have to embarrass the country on a daily basis. That's what the president does. So don't give me this crap about you want the president to fail. No, I don't want the president to fail. I want him to do a good job, and I want him to be respectful, and I want him to be a decent human being, Brady. Is that too much to ask?
I guess not. I don't want anybody to fail, and I never said you thought the president was going to fail. But you guys on the left, you got to give
on the left.
some credit.
I'm not on the left.
Can you give the president a little credit? You never given him any credit for the economy, nothing. All you do is bash him. Whatever he brings up on his tweets or anything, that's all you focus on.
Not true. Not true. That's not the only thing I focus on. I talk about a lot of issues, including the summit when he met with all these world leaders and he wants Putin to be a part of it. Did you listen to the interview with Michael Avenatti? I brought up about 10 or 15 subjects. If you want to talk about the economy and the positive things that are going in the economy, ask some people that are investing in the stock market. Tell them what they think. Ask them what they think right now. So don't give me this stuff about how the economy is doing wonderful.
The stock market is up 50%. What do you mean there's people in the stock market?
Have you been watching the news the last couple of weeks and speaking to all the people that have been on every network, including your beloved Fox News, that have said that the economy is going to tank and it's headed in the wrong direction?
Oh, they're not saying that on the Fox.
There are people that have said that.
Actually, last week, there was an interview, and I can't think of his name. He was part of the Obama administration, and he said the economy is rocking. He's a financial guy, and he actually said, which blew me away because I was waiting for him to crush Trump. He goes, the only problem about recession we have to worry about is people subliminally being thinking about it and speaking about it on the news. He called that out. It was brilliant.
I didn't hear that. I'll gladly listen to that. But
it was unbelievable. You would have been in shock.
But Brady, you generalize way too much, in my opinion. You say all people to the left do this. I've never said on this show all people on the right. I don't know why you generalize like that. I don't know why when you disagree with somebody, you label them to the left. Okay, I voted Republican and Democrat. I don't like Donald Trump, and guess what? 95% of the reason why I don't like Donald Trump has absolutely zero to do with policy and everything to do with I think he is just an awful human being.
One thing when it comes to the G8, I want to bring up that when he said, I think Putin should be back in the G8, I agree with that. It's better to keep that guy. That is a world leader that you're keeping off the stage for what he did to Obama, because Putin played Obama like a fool with Crimea. Then they got
an evil, murderous dictator. You don't have a problem with that?
Yeah, but what happened then is they took him out of the G8 because of Crimea. I think it's time to put him back in. He's a world player on the
Hey, Brady, I always appreciate our exchanges. Doesn't mean we always have to agree, but I guess that's what makes America great, my friend. I appreciate you calling in. Thank you, Brady. 257-5396. Let's go to Alex. Alex, what's going on?
Good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
Real quick, I work at a company that sells a lot of building materials, and a lot of our customers are Hispanic. They used to be people that hated Donald Trump, but as time went on and the economy got better, according to them, I speak to them on a daily basis, it's rocking just like Pat Cassell just said. They can't just – there's no stopping it, according to what these guys are saying.
So everybody's doing great? Everybody's doing wonderful? Everybody that is coming to this country is doing great?
Why are they coming to this country, Brian?
There's a lot of countries that they are coming from that are really bad places to live, and a lot of people are in danger of their life.
This is still the greatest place in the world, man.
That doesn't mean that the economy's booming.
May I say something?
It really is the greatest place in the world. I was looking at real estate internationally, and you go to Hong Kong and try to buy real estate, you can't even get a 2-bedroom place for less than $40 million. I mean, it's nuts.
There's no other place in the world I would rather live. That doesn't mean that we can't do better, and it doesn't mean that I hate the country.
It's not perfect, and it never will be. There's always going to be negative and positive. According
to Donald Trump, if you criticize the country, you should go back to your country. That's according to Donald Trump. That's his policy.
May I say something?
Sure.
Please. Regarding all the people coming to America, one of the things, being a Hispanic, I have to. Everybody's got to know that we have to follow the law. There was a study made. I don't remember if it was the United Nations or one of those big world groups. They literally took a survey and asked people around the world if they could overnight move to the United States, would they? And the number came back at astonishing 200 million people. Now, we have to understand that the United States has to control its borders. Nobody can argue that. My parents came here legally.
I agree. I agree.
And the last thing, not the last thing, but one of the things I would like to say also is I understand that a lot of people don't like what Donald Trump's tweets, and I'm one of them. Okay, but here's the thing. I'd like to know, when did Donald Trump become a racist as far as nationally?
Hey.
I only heard about it in the last year and a half. Prior to that, he was a well-known figure.
All right, I'll try to answer your question.
Anybody say that the guy was a racist?
Okay, Alex, I'll try to answer your question, and I'm up against a hard break. I apologize, my friend, but I've never called him a racist. I've said he said some racist things. I don't know what is in his heart, but when you call people that are coming into this country rapists, when you say there are good people on both sides in Charlottesville, and I could name you plenty of other ridiculous things he said, there are people out there that think he is a racist. And when you look at his background, when you look at his the properties that he has owned and with his father, and the fact that he has not allowed, in certain situations he's been sued and he's lost for discrimination. You put that all into account, I can understand why some people think he is a racist. I've never said that. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to The Vegas Take on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDAWN.